T4. I haven't actually noticed much difference. There's a couple of things in certain dungeons that have become ill-fitting for this build, should I say. I think I am at a sort of soft cap at the moment. In other words, I'm not really going to be able to progress like really well. I'm going to actually struggle to actually go through some dungeons. I mean, I'm struggling with this. Holy shit, the amount of crowd control is insane. Yeah, I think I have actually reached the peak 21, 22 maybe on the dungeons for now. There's a couple of things that I need to do. I need to increase my defenses. My defenses are not good enough currently. Going from T3 into T4 without fixing defenses was probably the worst thing to do. This chest piece just isn't that good. The only thing it's doing is +2 to ranks, and I can get better defenses across the board. Though it is nice to get +2, I can get more damage out of just upgrading a weapon, for instance. So I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time re-rolling and structuring gear to be better than what it currently is. I'm just getting dominated. My life just disintegrates in these dungeons. It's probably bad rolls on the negatives, but I don't think it is. I think it's just the fact that I came into T4 unprepared. And I might have to go back to T3 and just farm levels and try and get as much as I can into the Paragon. To just get this leveled up, because like things like this, determination is going to be huge. I probably actually should come this way, because then I get the +50 armor. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
But it's crystal clear that I need to do something about my defenses. Either that, or I just need to get lucky with some good ancestral drops. I think ancestral might actually be the way forward, so I'm just going to persevere for now. And see if I can get some good ancestral stuff. It's going to be difficult. Of course it is, but it gives me a reason to do Helltide as well. Because I've been largely ignoring Helltide. But I'm gonna need to like spend a day just doing Helltide so that I can get the crafting mats to be able to re-roll some stuff, because I need to re-roll. It's crystal clear that I need to do that. Like, I'm not struggling, I'm just noticing, I think is the issue. Whereas before I wasn't really noticing my defenses being an issue, you know? But now in T4, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I think it's actually mainly because of the resistances. When you go into T4, you end up taking a 20% penalty, and most of my resistances are basically non-existent. So I mean, I have almost no fire resist and no shadow resist, that kind of thing. I do need to sort my defenses out. So that's going to be my comment in this video to anyone looking to do T4. Fix your defenses. Like, there is something I can do if I don't use my ultimate. I wonder if it'll make a difference. Let's test it, shall we? There is something, like a temporary thing that I can do, if I just get rid of this. And I do this and turn it into a spammable. There is also something that you can get that makes it so that that it gets applied to physical, but physical isn't my issue. Physical damage reduction isn't my issue. It's this, really. So I might just do this. Non-physical resistances by 10. So I was at, what, 33 on fire? Let's go up to 36. I don't know if this is added to your defenses, or if it's just a reduction. It doesn't show as a stat, because I don't think it's giving me plus, like, I don't think it's giving me percentage defense. Your guess is as good as mine. It might help. Fuck knows if it does. I'm pretty sure it's my resistances that are the issue with my defenses. And I'm gonna have to fix that. I think you're being sold a lie that resistances don't make any difference. I think they actually do, but not a huge amount. I think it's supposed to, like, lower the incoming damage by, like, I don't know. Overall, maybe like 10 to 15% if you do it right. The game is clearly based around armor defense than resistance. But I think resistances at like plus 50% is supposed to have like the same effect as like 15% damage reduction. That's what I think that Blizzard were trying to do with resistances. I don't think I'm wrong in that. I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm like the only person that's understood what the resistances are actually doing in this game. I'm getting no procs or anything. I'm not even getting crits. Fucking hell. No crits, no procs. Wow. That was like the worst case scenario right there. I was doing 0 damage because of it. Wow. Sacred stuff. It's not what I want to see in a T21 dungeon. I think they do poison, right? As lightning? Oh. No idea. I still think that the best defense that you can get in this game is stacking poison resist. I think that is probably the only thing that you really should be doing. That animation was weird. Did you see that then? That was strange. It was like it was lagged out or something. I mean, I do want to get the chest piece for one particular reason. I'm sick of looking like a bear permanently. I'm not too keen on that. Again, if you're curious why my damage numbers are so low, that's good ancestral stuff. I'm intentionally using one of the worst abilities, an auto attack, for damage. Because I want to know if it's possible to take it like as much as I can into as high as I can, or does it have a theoretical limit? So yeah, you're not going to see huge numbers with this build, but I don't care. I'm still doing okay clear speed. It's my defense that's the issue, not my damage. If you're one of the kinds of people that is looking at me thinking, why aren't I just playing Tornado Span for Werewolf and doing millions of damage? All I will say is, why are you here watching this content? Go away. This channel is clearly not for you. I like doing builds like this because it challenges the system. I'll tell you this much. I think I have found the worst instance for Druid. It's called the Serpent's Pit. The amount of crowd control that's in there is actually insane. And it basically establishes the reason why things like Earthen Bulwark is a necessity on Druid. And I hate that. I hate the fact that I can't play Druid without basically getting Earthen Bulwark. And that I have to get it to be able to succeed with Druid. That to me is an eye-opening like issue with Druid that like I don't think Blizzard tested the defense capability of Druid outside of Earthen Bulwark. Because, like, you know, as long as you go Earthen Bulwark, Druid actually feels very good, right? But at the same time, like, if you don't go Earthen Bulwark, it's not that you'll struggle, it's that you'll notice that there's an issue. Oh god, I'm about to die. Oh god, I'm about to die. That's too much AoE damage for my liking. This is actually kind of what it's like in Serpent's Pit. Every corner is like this. It's insane. I would highly recommend that if you don't go Earthen Bulwark, you stay away from Serpent's Pit. Do not do that instance. You're not gonna have fun inside there. I guarantee you. I'm glad that lag happened when I thinned the fucking herd. Holy shit, I'm actually now feeling the lag. There is a thing that says that there's live server maintenance being done today and tomorrow. So I probably shouldn't play. But I can get this video up. But yeah, like, if you're not going Earthen Bulwark, it was a nightmare. I went through, and the level of crowd control that the enemies were doing, that with the poison damage on top, was horrendous. I had to backpedal constantly to try to thin the herd to allow me to be able to kill them, because I was being so heavily crowd controlled that it actually labeled for me an issue with the game, that if you don't go unstoppable, that the game is almost unplayable. That's not even a joke. I experienced it when I went into Serpent's Pit. Like, it's T21. I went in on T21. It's probably a lot easier. Oh my god. It's probably a lot easier to do Serpent's Pit on lower tiers, but at the same... This is what I was doing in Serpent's Pit. I had to keep backpedaling to try to thin the herd. Why did my character walk all the way forward to auto-attack then? This is seriously what I had to... This is Serpent's Pit. Holy shit at the amount of damage in crowd control. Plus, I'm not getting any procs. Like, 0 procs, dude. I'm gonna die to this. It's the green beam, it's the green eye that's causing the issue. It just constantly microstuns you. And there's really nothing you can do about it. I would say that Serpent's Pit is probably the worst dungeon in the game. Because of just how horrendously bad the crowd control is in this game. If you ever want to make a video highlighting how bad, I actually might do it myself, how bad the crowd control is in this game if you don't have Unstoppable, go to Serpent's Pit. And just play like a T21, T22 or something, or just go higher. And try to illustrate just how bad it actually is. It won't take much. It won't take much. In fact, this is quite bad and all, to be honest. I mean, look at me, I'm constantly micro-stuck. Like, this is 10 times worse. Look at this, look at this. Stunned, stunned. This is 10 times worse in Serpent's Pit. Look at the fucking stuns that come out. There's no cooldown. They are highly spammable. And now I'm stuck in here because there's a fucking wall. Oh my god. I can't attack because I'm just being micro-stunned constantly. Constantly. It's a huge problem with this game. Like, as a druid, I'm being punished because I'm not using Earthen Bulwark. If Blizzard want Earthen Bulwark to be on every single fucking druid, then it shouldn't be a skill. It should just be a passive, right? It should just be built into the character as a passive. I'm not wrong in saying that. I think that Earthen Bulwark is what makes Druid shit. Because you can't really play Druid as anything other than Earthen Bulwark. Look at the microstun. Like, just look at them. Just watch this video with the microstuns, and you tell me if that's good gameplay. You tell me, after watching how many times I get stunned per second, if that's good gameplay. And if my... like, seriously, and if the only technical solution to getting around it is that I should go Earthen Bulwark, then Druid is a dead class in terms of diversity. Druid has no diversity. Don't forget, this is 10 times worse in Serpent's Pit. 10 times worse in Serpent's Pit. Also, the only other solution that I think that most people will say is that your damage is just too low and you're not killing them fast enough. All I will say to you is this. If the solution outside of Unstoppable is that I have to do insane levels of damage, if that's the solution, then this game is horrendous. Because didn't Blizzard already establish that they don't want you doing horrendous number values? Even the builds that are currently doing those, they're going to get nerfed, right? I'm actually going to go there so I can get this. Like, the ones that are doing real sort of big, powerful damage, these builds are going to get nerfed soon, right? They're probably going to get nerfed before Season 1. Otherwise, everyone will just use the fucking powerful builds in Season 1. So, my damage isn't the issue, right? I mean, it's not a huge amount of damage I'm doing, but at the same time, it's a respectable amount. Well, there's that then. But yeah, my defenses are terrible currently. I need to fix them. Where's that big guy go? Come here. That's a permanent stun. Did you see that then? Every hit is stuns. Every hit stuns, and then it resets. To not have diminishing returns is horrendous, right? Holy fucking shit. If that spawned in a pack of monsters, I would have died. Oh my god. I also don't understand why blue stuff drops if you're on T4. It's just bloatware. It's kind of weird. But either way, like... I do actually have quite a lot of, like, reduction in terms of the stuns. Like, this alone is pretty fucking powerful, right? While I have 45 for over 50% of my max life, it reduces the amount of, it's like how much? It's like 27 or something %. I think that and that alone is how I'm staying alive. I really detest how I have to get Earth and Bulwark with Unstoppable. I think there's something fatally flawed with Druid if you don't go Earthen Bulwark. I do genuinely think that. I think that there's something tragically wrong with Druid. And it sucks. I think they should redesign this. So that if you get crowd controlled like twice in a row or something, or you get like stunned into a stun into a... Like if you get chain stunned, it activates Unstoppable for 4 seconds. I think that would be better than this. To try to stop, well, firstly the necessity of needing Earthen Bulwark, and then Earthen Bulwark, you can actually use it as a live sort of, you know, unstoppable, as well as you could convert it into damage. But I think there needs to be some kind of passive applied, and I don't think it should be on just Druid. I think it should be on every character by default. That if you get chain stunned in a small amount of time, it triggers Unstoppable for 4 seconds. Just that and that alone would make a huge difference, because it's not the damage that's the issue. Like I'm gonna try and fix the damage. It's the fact that you can be permanently crowd controlled in this game, and there's no way to get around it. And the only sensible solution for Druid is that if you get crowd controlled, you activate Earthen Bulwark. Like, if Blizzard seriously want me to have Earthen Bulwark with Unstoppable on every fucking Druid that I make, then there's a problem with Druid. But also, there's a problem with every character, that they can't get around crowd control, right? It's like build diversity goes right out of the window if Earthen Bulwark is on the hotbar of every fucking Druid. I'm also taking note at the fact that Hurricane is also on every fucking Druid, right? Hurricane and Earthen Bulwark, meaning that if you go Earthen Bulwark and Hurricane, there's only 4 spaces left. That limits build diversity even further. Like things like this, while Hurricane is active, gain +3 ranks. Why is it linked to Hurricane? Why not say something like, while Cyclone Armor is on cooldown, +3 ranks to shapeshifting? Because it's got a 16-second cooldown, right? Why is it all linked to one thing? Earthen Bulwark is a passive that needs to be on every Druid, and every Druid is using Hurricane. How can you justify build diversity and then demand that of the players, right? They need to spread it out. They need to put stuff on other things. They need to make it so that people aren't going to just use Hurricane by default. People aren't just going to use Earthen Bulwark by default. Like, I don't think there's many people that actually use Cyclone Armor because they think that the passive alone is useless and the damage itself is useless, right? They're not wrong. There's a reason why Cyclone Armor is shit, right? But I still need to fix my damage. I need to fix my defense. It doesn't matter if I'm going to sit here and fucking moan about Earthen Bulwark being a necessity on every build. I could still do dungeons. I'm not, you know, completely struggling. Though, you know, I probably should go back to T3 and do level 20s to try to level up my Glyths so that I do more damage. Because leveling up Glyths is super important. One of the biggest improvements is getting these to radius 15. Well, level 15 to increase the radius. Because then I can actually use them properly on the tree. Currently, they're being underutilized because I'm just not using the points properly. For instance, if this comes out, instead of having several like weaker points, I can get the big nodes instead, which will allow me to, well, obviously down here is not that great of an example, but it will allow me to get like the bigger nodes, especially like 2 sets of dexterity, 2 sets of int. That's going to make a huge difference because it's like less passives that are here. So the radiuses I need to fix. But yeah, crowd control and my defenses is my current issue in T4. Yeah, so that was T21. Just explained why I was taking so much damage. My damage, reasonable when I get my ticks. If I get my ticks, then I can actually do the damage that I'm supposed to be doing. But if I don't, then I'm doing insanely bad damage. Also, I will say is by the time I've got to level 70, I can tell you this much. Okay. I might stop playing Pure Companions, not because I think it's bad, but because I think I've already reached a theoretical limit. Because 3 of my skills are so horrendously bad with their damage that it cuts my my action bar down by half immediately. And I'm only ever using Earth Spike. And though it feels good, it feels great to actually use just a single target damage thing that I'm actually stacking the damage on. I don't think I can get much more out of the build. I don't think I'm going to be able to improve this much more in terms of the potential damage. I think I've actually reached a sort of soft limit at level 70 in terms of what I can do with the build. Purely because, well, firstly, I'm not getting the aspects. I'm not getting the werewolf aspect that allows me to make them do lightning damage that does AoE. Also, putting so much stock into Earth Spike wasn't the smartest thing to do. It was still fun to try. I quite like the build, but it needs huge changes to the companions for me to be able to continue playing it. And the procs are just so horrendous. Going lucky hit was probably the biggest mistake in terms of playing Druid. I think going flat damage with like a poison build would have actually been better without triggering lucky hit. Like just stacking poison damage. That actually would have been more rewarding, I think, if I did that than trying to trigger the lucky hit of pack leader and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's a bad build, I'm just saying it feels limiting in terms of not so much the damage, but the things that you can do. Like, as great as these companions are on paper, in reality, they're shit, all 3 of them. All 3 companions are shit. But we'll see. So, not only have I got all 3 companions, I've got Hurricane, which is on every Druid, and I refuse to use Earth and Bulwark, so effectively I've only got 1 skill. Earth Spike. I might tweak this so it's not pure companions. I know this is rough, but I think the only thing that I can do with this build is to drop the wolves, because I am still getting some use out of Poison Creeper. And I am still getting some use out of the vulnerability of ravens. But I'm getting 0 use out of wolves. And if I drop this, I can then go something else. I'm not sure what I should go. It might actually be smart for me to get stronger single target damage. Maybe go landslide or something. And just drop the wolves completely. So instead of pure companions, I'll leave it as companions with strong single target damage on top. I think that's the only sensible outcome that I can do with this build. So that if I ever come across a strong target, I can then spam landslide Because the Earth Spike damage, I mean, look at the damage difference. That does 6k and it's not even got any points in it. Well, it's got 2, but whatever. This is 7 ranks, and it's barely only doing like 2k damage. I'm gonna have to look into it. I might actually need to drop the wolves. I could probably bring them back if I find the aspects, but until I do, the build is almost at the point where it's non-playable. Not unplayable, just non-playable. In other words, I shouldn't be playing it. You can, but I shouldn't be. I hate that. I hate the fact that that the Druid companions were this bad. I'll probably go into a final build sort of decision at level 70 and make a follow-on video for that. But my conclusion so far is companions are shit. Earthen Bulwark is a demand, and Hurricane is on every build. Take care.